The news coming out of Ukraine is terrifying to watch.
This is the chaos that followed a blast in the city of Irpin.
Russia is pounding cities across Ukraine.
A full-scale war.
It seems like the prospect of a larger, longer, and deadlier conflict looms ever closer. It's hard not to think of the dark possibilities, especially when one side of the conflict is openly talking about its nuclear arsenal.
Объединенной организации НАТО и России несопоставим. Мы понимаем. Но мы также и понимаем, что Россия одна из ведущих ядерных держав.
Welcome back to Technality. I'm Jacqueline Swan, and I'm a little mad right now. Mainly because of the senseless scenario in Ukraine, but also because the idea of nuclear war has resurfaced in our collective consciousness. And when I say mad, I'm referring to that old Cold War chestnut, mutually assured destruction. After several decades, the concept has become quite relevant again. MAD is a military strategy that came out of the Cold War. The whole concept works on the idea of deterrence.
Deterrence is the art of producing in the mind of the enemy the fear to attack.
Donald Brennan coined the term in 1962. He was a strategist that worked at a futurist think tank called the Hudson Institute. Basically, the theory goes that if I have a really strong weapon, let's say nuclear bombs, and my opponent also has nuclear bombs, we can assume that neither of us will actually use them. Because there's no winner in a MAD scenario, except for cockroaches and Twinkies.
Everyone knows there are only two things that can survive a nuclear holocaust: cockroaches and Twinkies.
The MAD acronym was purposely ironic, as Brennan found the whole concept of holding on to weapons that could destroy humanity absurd. Of course, humans love to do absurd things, which is why there's approximately 13,000 active nukes in the world. 90% of them belong to Russia and the United States. But is that actually enough nukes to end the world? Yes, many times over. But try to put that out of your head, because from experience, we know what can happen with just 2 nuclear bombs. And it's relevant to this idea of mutually assured destruction. The nuclear bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the end of World War II by the US military resulted in 129,000 and 226,000 deaths, respectively. They absolutely devastated the area, flattening buildings and creating a firestorm. But why was the United States able to get away with this? What about MAD? Well, at the time, they were the only country to have such an absolutely devastating weapon. There wasn't another weapon in 1945 that could even begin to match the unparalleled destruction caused by Fat Man and Little Boy. It wasn't until Russia developed their own hydrogen bomb that the concept of MAD became a reality. Suddenly, during the Cold War, they were able to balance the power with an equally potent threat. And if the United States launched their nukes, Russia wouldn't be able to stop them necessarily, but they could return in kind. A nuclear-armed country is not one you want to attack, which brings us back to the situation in Ukraine. The West will do what it can to support the besieged country short of a direct military confrontation with Russia. Because, well, MAD. The whole situation does a really bad job of convincing other countries that denuclearizing is the right move. If the people with the nukes aren't going to help you, or actually attack you, why leave yourself vulnerable? So, when a country like, say, India, Pakistan, or even Iran is building their own arsenal, they're embracing the MAD mindset. If you made it this far in the video, congratulations! Existential dread for everyone. But if a nuke were to actually drop, is there a way to survive? Well, if you're Satomu Yamaguchi, the man who survived both of the bombs dropped on Japan, supposedly, yes. Honestly though, if you're in the blast radius, probably not. Then what can we do to actually protect ourselves from the consequences of MAD? Well, besides demanding that countries, including Russia and the United States, give up their nuclear arsenals, all we can really do is apply the wisdom of Bert the Turtle. Duck and cover.
When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked.
I would love to hear your thoughts on MAD. Are you scared? Are you worried? Are you prepared? And to stay up to date on how technology is impacting your future, subscribe to Technality.